Megan Imirowicz, 19, of Groveland Township, Michigan, was arrested after throwing lye, a chemical drain cleaner, on her father, Conrad Imirowicz, while he was sleeping. Megan was initially facing charges of assault with intent to do great bodily harm and a misdemeanor domestic violence. But when her father died as a result of the injuries, Oakland County Prosecutor's Office upgraded her charges to murder. Let's get into it. Megan Joyce Imirowicz was the second child to be adopted by her mother Joyce and father Conrad. Austin, her brother, was also adopted by them a year earlier. Later, Conrad and Joyce had their own children, Morgan and Ian. Joyce filed for divorce in 2010 and was awarded primary custody of Megan and her siblings, while Conrad was given visitation every other weekend. Sometime in 2019, Conrad filed a motion to have full custody of all 4 children. Instead, he was given full custody of Megan and Austin, the oldest 2, and Joyce was given full custody of Ian and Morgan, the youngest 2. However, Megan and her siblings were free to visit either parent as they wished, with the exception of Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. They were required to spend Christmas Eve with Conrad and Christmas Day with Joyce. The home that Megan shared with her father was described as an episode of hoarders. Trash was all throughout the house, and there was very little walking room to get to each room. Bathrooms were extremely dirty with feces in the toilets. Conrad's room was nasty and did not consist of a bed. The home reeked of the smell of mold and cat urine. The cleanest room was Austin's. He had turned 19 and had already moved out of the home. On October 1st, 2021, Megan and her father were locked in a dispute after he was too drunk to take her to the salon to get her hair styled for her upcoming 18th birthday. Conrad was an alcoholic, so his days consisted of much drinking. Though Conrad described having only 1 Smirnoff Ice, authorities said he had a blood alcohol level of 0.3, close to 4 times the legal limit to drive. Early that morning, Megan sent her friend Kayla a Snapchat photo of herself crying, and then a text stating that her dad got drunk and he didn't care that she had stuff to do and she threw stuff at him. Megan finds another ride and abandons her unconscious father on the couch. Later that afternoon, Megan asked Kayla to go by her house and get credit card information from her father to pay for the party at the hotel. And this is when Kayla came up on Conrad's horrifying injuries. Kayla found Conrad naked and severely injured on the couch with a blanket on his lap, with chemical burns throughout his body. She testified that Conrad told her his hand hurt, revealing it, which Kayla said made her feel very ill and caused her to panic. She said his fingers were red and purple and his fingernails were curled up. While he was intoxicated, Megan combined lye with water to throw at Conrad. When lye powder is combined with water, a chemical reaction occurs. The reaction causes the mixture to reach a temperature of 200 degrees Fahrenheit. This results in fumes that, when inhaled, render people unconscious. By the time Conrad was discovered, about 6 hours later, he was severely burned and had lost consciousness. Megan called Kayla back to get the credit card information. Instead, Kayla tells her that something was wrong with her dad. Megan laughed and said that he was just drunk and told her to call Austin. Kayla went outside, called her mother and Megan's brother Austin, who told her to contact 911, which she did. As his father was being readied for transport to the hospital, Austin stated he went inside the house and saw a ton of white stuff all over the couch and next to the end of the couch. There were cleaning supplies and just a bunch of other junk. Austin testified that not long after his father was admitted, Megan called him demanding the PIN to their dad's credit card. Austin told her he did not know the PIN and that he was at the hospital with their dad. Megan got mad and hung up. Austin was upset that she did not ask about their dad's condition. Conrad was on life support due to multiple infections, amputation of both legs, skin grafts, and kidney dialysis, which were later effects of the attack. Austin also testified that his father told him he had one drink after fighting with Megan, went to bed, and woke up as he was being carried into the ambulance. During the search of the home, investigators also found the white powder substance and water on the couch where Conrad had been laying. Megan was identified as the suspect in the attack by Michigan State Police after officers spoke to her father in Assassin Genesis Hospital where he was being treated. When they went to the hotel to question Megan, she at first claimed she had just thrown some bread at her dad to wake him up. However, she eventually admitted throwing water and a white powder at her dad.
If you tell us the truth, it will be better for you, okay? Rather than lying and then we're beating around the bush and then we're out here for hours on end, when we can just figure out what's actually going on, okay? That's why we're here. We're just figuring out what's going on. So do you want to restart and tell us what happened?
It was on and off. He would fall asleep in place and then he'd wake up. It wasn't like he was fully awake. Obviously he was intoxicated.
So was he coherent or was he just totally like, he was out of it? Was there any white substance that flew out of something when you threw something at him or anything? We're trying to help your dad out here.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Megan was arrested on October 6, 2021 and booked into the Oakland County Jail. She was charged with domestic violence and assault with intent to do great bodily harm. She was released that night in the custody of her mom after receiving a $75,000 bond. After a 5-month stay at the hospital, Conrad died on March 6, 2022 after being pulled off of life support. Megan is arrested again on March 11, 2022 and charged with homicide. June 15, 2023, after a 4-day trial, Megan cried as she was convicted of unlawful possession or use of harmful devices causing the death of her father. June 25, 2023, Megan returned to court to learn her sentence. During her time in prison, Megan made a close friend who helped her pen her plea for mercy, Jennifer Crumbley. Jennifer and her husband, James Crumbley, was convicted with involuntary manslaughter in connection with the 4 students their son, Ethan Crumbley, is accused of killing. The Crumbley parents brought their son the gun he used in the mass shooting and allegedly ignored the warning signs that he could become violent. Megan and Miss Crumbley spent months together in prison. During her tearful appeal to the judge, Megan described the deep bond she had with her father and the pain of losing him. She expressed her struggle to cope with the loss and her battles against self-harm, emphasizing that she loved her father deeply and was not the monster the prosecution portrayed her to be. The prosecution has tried to make me look like a monster, but that's not me and never was, she told the judge, saying her father was her hero and best friend. She asked for understanding and support from the judge to pursue her dreams, including obtaining a college degree in marine biology and setting up programs to help children with depression. I want to change the world, she said. I'm asking you to help me accomplish my dreams. I'm not a threat to society, but an asset for the future. Megan had been in Oakland County Jail for 500 days and sobbed in court upon learning of her reduced sentence. This is a serious crime that you have been found guilty of. The court does not believe that a child your age knew or understood the consequences of throwing the items at your father or the damage it would cause him, Judge Victoria Valentine said. Megan was sentenced to 1 year in prison and 5 years of probation with credit for time served. For this felony, she could have been sentenced to life in prison or any term of years and or a fine up to $40,000. The prosecutor immediately objected, saying the sentence was not reasonable to the crime the defendant was convicted of. A person died horribly, stated the prosecution. Judge Valentine noted the objections, but held fast, though she did agree to a mental health assessment and a review in 6 months. Prosecution team also requested a GPS for the duration of her probation, which the judge denied. I expect you to do good things and carry on your father's name, Judge Valentine concluded. Megan walked free after the hearing and was reunited with her mother upon her release from Oakland County Jail, where she had been incarcerated for the last 17 months. The terms of Megan's sentence include intensive probation, consisting of a mental health assessment, a psychological exam, alcohol and drug testing as directed by her probation officer, and a review in court after 6 months into her probation. In addition to court costs and fines, Megan is required to participate in a high school or GED program and be home each night by 9 p.m. Regarding her probation restrictions, Megan said, "I think having all these restrictions would make it easier to get my life back on track, and I'm not going to see it as something that holds me back, but something that helps me move forward." Megan has continuously denied she was responsible for the death of her dad. What do you guys think? Do you really think that Megan thought what was going to happen? Or do you think she was just throwing things out of rage? Me personally, the house was hoarded. And I think that she was just grabbing things and just throwing things at him. I don't think that she even thought that things would happen the way they did. Let me know what you think. Please feel free to comment below your thoughts about this case. Alright guys, that is it for me. Thank you for sticking around to the end of this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with your family and your friends. And hit that notification button so you know that every time I post a new video. Alright, till next time, take care of you.